Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ken, also known as MrKenDenis. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a YouTube made me buy this video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys click on the subscribe button down below. I basically do a lot of makeup related videos, beauty, hair, and I also vlog about my personal life. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey girl, hey. I'm so tired. I just woke up from a nap and I just had a coffee, so I'm waiting for it to kick in. I'm sorry if my energy's a bit low. I promise it's going to pick up. So I'm going to start off first with the eyes. As you guys know, I only have one primer at the moment, so I'm just going to be using that one from Kylie. Like I said, I'm going to set that with this translucent powder. This is the Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. So yes, YouTube made me buy this because I've seen a few people talk about this. I have still yet to find out the best way to apply it because I have been using a beauty sponge and it just doesn't look right. Just gonna apply it using this brush. So this is a Real Techniques brush, and by the way, I love these brushes. YouTube made me buy these brushes, and I do have to say they've lived up to the hype. Like, they're really good. I've had some of these brushes since 2012, 2013, and they're still intact, no shedding. Maybe that little rubbery ferrule thing, some of them have kind of melted because I did put them in storage in the middle of summer, and I think it's kind of melted. Like, it doesn't stink or anything, but it still works. It's just, I don't know, it feels a little melted. You know how like some rubberized products, when they kind of melt, they kind of go a little bit sticky. That's how that one feels. Okay, now we're gonna move on to eyeshadow. So I've got the Kylie Bronze eyeshadow palette. Now, I do have to say, initially when I heard Kylie was coming out with her own makeup brand, I was just like, ugh, it's gonna be a celebrity brand, it's not gonna be good. I gave into the hype because they had a sale, and that's how usually brands get me when they have a sale. It's hard to resist when it's cheaper than what you normally would expect them to be. Anyway, so this is the bronze palette. So this is the first eyeshadow palette I believe that she came out with. So this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure you guys know what it looks like already. And honestly speaking, the shade selection in this palette is not anything unique, but it's definitely like a staple palette, which I thought was a very smart move from Kylie's cosmetic team. If not Kylie, I don't even know if she's part of the decision making, but I think it was a smart idea because most people would want like a basics brown bronzy palette, and you've also got a black obviously, so that you can use that as a shadow eyeliner or add some depth, and you've got some bronzy shades. So I think this is a really smart palette. Is it one of the best palettes out there? That is questionable. I personally think it's not superb quality, but it's definitely a good quality palette, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take Citrine, that orange shade in the center. I do have to say this shade in particular on me is a little bit chalky. I feel like if you had a fairer skin tone, it wouldn't appear as chalky. But that's fine because I do use this as mostly as a transition color, and then I use other shadows on top. Next I'm going to take Hematite and Bronzite, like a combination of these two colors, and just pop them into the crease. Another thing I like about this palette is because of the color selection, it's definitely my go-to eyeshadow palette for, like, say, brown smoky eyes, bronze eyeshadow looks, and also just to kind of like carve out the crease. Like, I feel like the combination of colors just really work on my skin, and then I can kind of just use whatever eyeshadows I want on the lid, just to change it up a tiny bit. But overall, it's a very good eyeshadow palette. Okay, next is another eyeshadow palette that I swore that I would not get, but then they had a second relaunch and I just caved. I could not say no to it, especially because it was going to be sold at Mecca. It wasn't like something I could just buy from the internet anymore. It was just literally a shop that I could walk up to and just grab. So it is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I mean, guys, when I first got this, you guys know that I pretty much just used it non-stop, and to this day I still do. Just selected colors, and that smell, it gets me every time. Okay, so what are my favorite shades here? If I can find a clean brush. This thing is filthy. My favorite shade to use here is Bellini. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It's just this sort of like a rose gold eyeshadow, and it is stunning. Okay, what do I think about this palette? I think it's very gimmicky, from the packaging, the design, the smell of the eyeshadows, the commercials that go with it. Very gimmicky, but I am a sucker for it. I fell for it hard. Such a pretty palette. I really like it. I like the experience of this eyeshadow palette more than I probably should. I do have to say the shimmery shadows, very good, very pigmented, and the ones that aren't very pigmented, if you just spritz your brush with a little bit of setting spray or fluid, it just pops. It's amazing. The mattes in this palette, I do have to say, are not the best. They apply a little bit patchy, but if you have a nice base and you've set that base with a nice powder, it goes a long way. Okay, I think that's it for the eyes for now. I'm gonna move on to eyeliner. So this one is by Dolly. Whether or not this one is still safe to use, that is quite debatable because I have been using this for a good 3-4 years now. It is really old, but the formula hasn't dried and it's still going. It's not the blackest formula out there, but it still works. Yeah, I don't really know which one this one is in particular, like what range or anything, because everything else is written in what I assume is Japanese. Okay, eyeliner is done. Now we'll move on to lashes and lash glue. I was talking about Glam by Manicare lashes. So I have not found any lashes that are as amazing as these. I've seen a few of my friends wear these, so I will put this in the category of YouTube made me buy it because they're YouTubers and it looks fabulous on them, so I was so jealous. I picked up my own pair and have since picked up another one, so yeah, these things are quite sturdy. Like, I've managed to wear one pair for a good 20 times out and for YouTube, obviously. Yeah, so I'm just gonna pop them on. And by the way, guys, the glue that comes in with these lashes, really good. I know you can buy them separately, but because I don't tend to use an entire like little tube up every time, I've just started using these. I do have a tube from Duo. It's the latex free one. It's this one. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, I've used a lot of it, but I find that it always leaves a lot of gunk on my lashes, and let's just say I'm one of those people that likes to peel them off and then it takes off some of my natural lashes, and I really need to stop doing that because I don't have a lot left. Okay, lashes are on. Now I do have to say this one in particular looks a little bit funny because I ripped like the first layer of lashes for this one at the inner corner. There are 2 layers of lashes for this entire band. But anyway, it looks funny. So let's move on to the face. So I have got 2 primers. Where's the other one? I've got this one from Benefit. This is the Porefessional. So this one is a PR sample. I did buy a small one and then I just kind of fell in love with it, and then I received a PR package and then I got this one. So I'll consider that as YouTube made me buy that. And I also have the L'Oreal Lumi Magique Pure Light Primer. I actually remember who kind of influenced me to buy this. It was Shanexo, because she used it once on her videos and her skin looks so metallic, and I was like, girl, I need that in my life. So I went out to Big W, and I remember I was on a very tight budget, but I still bought it. And here it is, it's still here. It's amazing. I have to say, it's a really good primer. So it's the Benefit Porefessional. The Benefit Porefessional, I really like this for pores and fine lines. So with this particular product, you kind of have to massage it into different directions to fill in the fine lines and the pores. I find that a lot of people, when they put on pore filling type primers, they just kind of like slap it on in one direction and then they put on their foundation and they realize like, oh, I can still see my pores. You have to really like massage it into different directions, because what you're essentially doing is like filling it with the primer, if that makes sense. And this baby, I just take a tiny bit. I used to wear this pretty much all over the face back when the dewy finish like was the trend. I mean, dewy skin is still in, but I used to just do it my whole face. And oddly enough, I didn't look like a grease ball with this. It gave you a nice sheen. As you guys can probably tell, it's got a nice metallic sheen. So you can use this as a highlighter by itself or as a base for your foundation. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of Nye Beard cover. YouTube didn't make me buy this. Looking for tutorials on how to cover your 5 o'clock shadow, and a lot of drag queens seem to be using this. So I decided to pick it up, and you know what? It works really well. Could be a little bit more coverage, like a little bit better, but you know what, it's the best thing I have found so far that has worked. Okay, now that's the base, and let's move on to foundation. So this foundation, when it first came out, literally every American YouTuber was like talking about it, raving about it, and then the Aussie beauty gurus were talking about it when they got their hands on it, and yeah, it's the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I have to admit I was late on this bandwagon, but I can see why this is a really loved foundation, and I personally love this. It looks really good on my skin. The coverage is definitely full coverage without looking cake face, and my skin just looks very luminous, so definitely 2 thumbs up for this one. Definitely lives up to the hype. So I'm going to use this sponge. Now this is the Real Techniques Miracle Diamond Sponge, I believe. It's from the Bold line. YouTube made me buy this mostly because, as you guys know, I do beauty videos on the channel, and I always am constantly trying to look for new content, be one of the first people to try out new products in Australia. So when I saw this was available online from iHerb, I pounced on it so that I could be one of the first people in Australia to talk about it. But yeah, it's a really good sponge. I really like it. The design itself is very gimmicky, but it works. I find that the faces on this thing a little bit too close together, if that makes sense. So product tends to bleed onto the other sides, like the other faces of the sponge. So if you're trying to be very precise, this isn't the sponge for you. Okay, one problem that I have with this sponge is because it's got that big wide base as the part that you bounce on the skin, it's a little bit wide. And for someone who's got bleach hair, you need it to be quite precise because you don't want it to get into your hair. So I kind of have to maneuver my arms around a lot just to make sure I don't get it in my hair. And sorry, that's my phone. Oh no, this foundation's actually a little bit dark now. Damn, this Melbourne winter is making me pale already. It's not even winter actually, it's still, I think it's still considered autumn, and I'm already paled out. Okay, now let's move on to concealer. So I have got the Shape Tape Contour Concealer. So need I say more, guys? Like, this is probably one of the most hyped concealers ever. I mean, ever. I've never seen so many people get so excited and rave so much about a concealer before, but I can definitely see the appeal. It's very full coverage, but would I say it's a unique concealer? Not really, but I do like the fact that it's full coverage but it doesn't look cakey on me. Like, I've heard some people say it looks cakey on them, but on me, not so much. By the way, I am in the shade Medium. See, the reason why I don't really, I don't know, like, I'm not super crazy about this concealer is because I mainly use it for highlighting underneath the eyes. I don't have particularly very dark under eye circles, and I don't really need it for coverage like on the face. Okay, now I'm going to set my under eyes using the Benai Banana powder. So I haven't used this in quite some time. Like, this is the original one that I had back in the day. Not much left, but I used to use this underneath the eyes. So I'm just going to do a little bit, not really bake, because I used to really bake with this, and looking back, some of my photos I did look quite yellow underneath the eyes, like just yellow. It looked a bit weird. Okay, next to set the rest of the face is the Cover FX Pressed Mineral Foundation. Now, this wasn't necessarily influenced by YouTube itself, but I went to an event filled with other YouTubers and a lot of them raved about this one. It's not a particular product that a lot of YouTubers rave on camera, but it's one of those, I don't know, like trade secrets. They just said to me, like, you know, try that one, it's a really good powder, so here it is. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of contouring. So this contour powder I didn't buy, I won this, and one was sent to me as a PR package, but I'm just going to mention it's the Rodial contouring powder. I use this all the time, and then I'm going to talk about a bronzer and a highlighting palette that YouTube made me buy. Okay, now moving on to a bronzer that YouTube made me buy. The Mariah Carey MAC collection. This one is the My Mimi Extra Dimension Skin Finish. I mean, I have used this. I know it's sacrilegious for some lambies. I was gonna say My Mimi's lambies, but it's a stunning product. I actually thought this was gonna be a highlighter, but it's actually more of a bronzy, shimmery type product. So I'm just gonna pop this on my face so that you guys can see, but definitely not a product I would recommend to use as a bronzer if you guys have textural issues, because it shows it. Nearly there. So now let's move on to highlighting. So this is a highlighting palette that I honestly didn't see myself buying. So Anastasia glow kits, I have seen them around. I've just never really been interested. I never really thought like, what's the point of buying so many highlighters in one palette when you're probably just going to be using one? But here I am eating my own words. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in collaboration with Nicole Guerrero. This thing is stunning. I just love it. Every time I go to events and I wear any of these highlighters out, the first comment that I get is, wow, your highlighter is so bright. So usually when I go to these events, the lighting's usually quite dim and, you know, you don't really expect to see anyone's highlight, and apparently this is what you see all the time. And I've watched some of my friends' footage, like their vlogs, and it's true. It's the first thing you do see. So, yeah, so my favourite one to wear out of these if I really want to blind a crowd is Kitty Cat. And for a daytime blinding effect, but not too bright because I don't want to cause a traffic jam, it's a Daydream. And for inner corner highlight, my favourite one is Forever Lit. The others are kind of just like, I don't know, they're still very, very bright, but not as blinding as I would compare them to the others, if that makes sense. And then Forever Young Glow Getter 143, these are my favourite ones just to pop on the lid for an extra bit of shine. I have worn them on the cheeks as well, but compared to the ones that I've just mentioned, they're not as blinding, if that makes sense, but overall this palette is very blinding. And if I really want to be extra, I can use a little bit of setting spray, and that just, girl, traffic jam, trust me, traffic jams. With this highlighter palette, I do have to say, if you do have textural issues, I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it definitely shows. You can remedy that by using a bit of a setting spray, and that just softens it, but it's still quite prominent. I'm pretty sure you can still get this in certain places because I know Sephora Australia has started stocking this. Whether or not my news is old is questionable, but if you can get this still, definitely get this one. Okay, so I'm just going back into the Kylie bronze palette and I'm just going to do the under eye area. I'm just using Bronzite and Hematite, I believe, just underneath the eyes, just to add a little bit of depth, just to kind of balance that out. Okay, now let's move on to an eyebrow pencil. This one is from Rimmel London. Now, I've had a love-hate relationship with this eyebrow pencil. Sometimes, depending on how much I've bleached my brows, they kind of still look a little bit too warm. And this pencil does have a little bit of warmth and it accentuates it. But at the moment, my brows are good, so I love using this one. This one is their Porefessional eyebrow pencil in Hazel. Just love using this one when I'm light-haired, blonde, or neon. Okay, now I'm going to move on to mascara. So I have to admit I haven't really bought mascaras lately because I keep getting sent new ones. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this Big Shot Colossal mascara from Maybelline just to blend my natural lashes in. Okay, now we'll move on to the lips. So I have got a Kylie lip kit. So this is the matte lip kit. I have got Brown Sugar. So I've got the liquid lip and the lip liner. So as you guys know, this is my favorite shade, or one of my favorite shades I should say. I just feel like it's going to go well with this particular look that I've got on. So the lip liner itself, I like it. I do have to say, this one in particular, I don't know if you can see that, like, see, the liner itself is coming out now. So I think it's either a manufacturing problem or something, but the formula of the pencil itself is really, really good. So the formula of this lip liner is very, very creamy. I really like it. You can definitely get the precision that you want. Overall, it's just a really, really good lip liner. And I do have to say, some of the formulas for the lip kits, they're kind of funny. Like with Dirty Peach, I didn't like the actual lip, like the liquid lip, but the lip pencil was amazing, and it was the only way I could wear the combination together is if I had the lip liner and the liquid lip. If I just wore the liquid lip, it just looked really, really funny. The liquid lip was a little bit lighter than the lip liner, but this one in this particular combination, Brown Sugar, they're both the same shade, so it's not a big problem. But in terms of Brown Sugar itself, really, really good. I really love the scent. It's very vanilla. Really, really like this color, guys. It's one of my favorites. It's a matte formula, but I find that compared to other matte liquid lipsticks out in the market, this is not very drying. As long as your lips are prepared, like you've exfoliated, you've applied lip balm before applying the lip liner and the liquid lipstick, you're good to go. In terms of like it chipping throughout the day, obviously center part of the lips will start to fade a lot faster, but in terms of touching up, it's quite easy to touch up with this liquid lip. Okay, next I'm going to just set my face using the MrKenDenis Makeup Finishing Spray. Again, not a product that I purchased. Alright, so that is the final look, and yes, I did add some curls to this look. If you guys are interested in knowing how I did these curls, definitely check out the links on the description box, down in the description box down below and on the screen. I'm not entirely sure if that video is going to go up first or this is going up first. I don't know at this point. But I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm doing a giveaway. So not a long time ago, like a few months back, I did say that when I reached 8,000 I would do a giveaway, and I am doing a giveaway. Actually, I'm doing 2 giveaways for 8,000, and the reason why it took a little bit longer for me to do this announcement is because I had to wait for this baby to show up. So this is the Kim Kardashian West by Kylie Cosmetics Creme Liquid Lipstick set. So as you guys know, it's a limited edition. I actually haven't even tried my own set, but this is a set that I'm giving away to you guys. Oh, it's not going back in. Also going to be giving away a Kylie Cosmetics bronze palette. So hopefully you guys join the competition. So it's going to be an international giveaway, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing an Instagram one as well at some point. Not all at the same time because shipping internationally is expensive, so bear with me. Because most of it's my own money, like seriously, it's mostly my own money, except for some of the prizes that the PR companies have given me to give to you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys would like to join that competition, make sure you go to the description box down below, click on the card, and there's going to be a link to that competition. And yeah, thank you guys for watching again. Thank you guys so much. I said so many thank yous in this video. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!